Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Sake Notes. I'm John.
I'm Michelle.
And it's been a while since we've seen you guys.
It's been a few months, I think.
Yeah, this is our first show of 2018.
And I think our first show in the new studio.
Yeah, this is the new place we moved.
And we set up some flags. We've got a nice table.
As you guys, you know something? We just recorded home. And this is our new home.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Anyway, but the point is that it is a new year, and we've got new sake.
And a new episode.
And
a special one.
About new sake.
Yeah.
All right.
This episode is a little bit special because it's the first one we've done like this. Every month, as you probably know, we do a tasting set at Rabbit House in Chinatown. And this episode is all about the three sakes that we will be featuring this week.
That's right. We went ahead and we wanted to do something interesting and special for our first tasting event of the year. And so we went and found sakes that were introduced to the United States last year. And that's the three of them that we have today.
So these are some of the newest sakes that are available to the New York and the United States market. Mm-hmm. And it's really exciting because there's so many times that you get to try something new. Usually you're in Japan, or maybe you go to a special event and you fall in love, and then you're like, sorry, not available in the US yet. Maybe it'll be a few months, maybe it's coming, we're still working on a contract, but if you taste these sakes this week and you love them, fear not, you can get them, you can have them at home, you're gonna love them.
Yeah, so let's get started. Yes. The first one we're gonna taste today is actually a nigori. And you probably notice it's a little bit cloudy. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. It looks like it is.
There is a little bit of sediment, so it is definitely a thicker than you. So there's I feel like there's stages of nigori. There's just some milk. There's very cloudy. There's lots of sediment to it. There's light nigori, and I think this is
on the lighter side of it.
Lighter side.
There's a super light one called a usu nigori, but this is not considered that. Although, in my opinion, it has a roughly similar amount of sediment in there. But the most important thing about this sake is that it is a Bodai Moto, which is interesting. So bear with me for a moment. Bodai Moto is a very old starter. It predates Kimoto, which if you're astute in your sake knowledge, you might recognize the word. Kimoto is a very old traditional style of making sake. Yamahai, also a very similar old style. And this predates both of them. And somebody went and was like, hey, we could do that. Why don't we do that? And they did. And
with great success.
Yeah, great success. They made a Junmai Nigori out of it. And this is some really interesting stuff.
It is 17%.
Yep.
And it has a beautiful label. It reminds me of those wood block prints with the carvings and then the ink prints. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something that you'll be able to remember when you go to the store to try to look for it. And I think the whole appearance of this bottle is beautiful. I love the green and the pictures.
Green on green.
And I love the way the nigori kind of shines through here. I just think it is so beautiful and memorable, and it's definitely one that's going to go on our display shelf.
Oh yeah.
It's too pretty.
Also of note, it uses a omachi rice, so it's got a little more richness to it than a lot of sakes do. I remember when we first tried this, there was a tasting event for the distributor, and this was every time there's a sake tasting event, there's always the sake that everybody's like, oh, did you try the such and such? This was that for this event. And everybody was asking us if we had tried it, and we had, and we're like, oh yes, we did have that nigori. And it was something special. It was actually really easy for us to remember because it was a nigori, which you don't see a lot of.
That's true. We have a design on the bottom of our glasses. You're probably not going to be able to see them from there, but you can still make out the colors at the bottom of the glass, but you can still see through the sake itself. So is there some sort of chart to level of nigori? I feel like there should be.
I don't think there is, but I mean, yeah, we can make one.
I'm almost getting a banana creaminess to this, like a vanilla banana mellow sweetness.
There's definitely, I get a crispness at the end, but we might have been snacking on slightly different things.
No, I think the front is sort of a creamy, mellow mouthfeel, but I am absolutely getting that crisp sweetness at the end. That's interesting. I like that it changes throughout. Yep. It keeps you on your toes.
We should note that this is the first time in a long time, if ever, that we're doing all Junmais. So everything is a junmai, and junmai, if you remember from previous episodes or just from your knowledge of sake, is the entry level to premium sake. So, it still has to follow the rules, but it has the loosest set of rules to deal with. It does have to be pure rice. That's what junmai means. So there's no brewer's alcohol added. But at the same time, the rice milling gets to be a little bit lower. I believe 70 to 60% is the rule on that.
So I've already poured the second one.
You did.
I'm getting a little bit too excited.
You are.
I also love this label. I think it's worth noting how much it sticks out. Just the green bottle with these big, bold labels, I think are so beautiful. Definitely easy to remember, although this one is completely in Japanese. There's not a single English-style character on the front, but don't worry, the back is in English. You can read it, learn all about it.
And that is the Taiten Shiragiku Mikinishiki. Mikinishiki. I sounded very Italian when I said that.
You're doing it with the hand.
Yeah, I did
Perfect.
it with the hand. I did. And Mikinishiki is a mutant strain of Yamanishi that is actually also quite old and was recovered and was used to make the sake.
It's like the Jurassic Park of sake.
Nice. Between these two, it kind of is. There's two very old style, like a very old
Resurrected from the brink of extinction.
And a very old rice that is actually a mutant strain of a different rice.
That's so exciting.
It is. Taiten Shiragiku, though, they do that. They find weird, interesting rices, or they'll cross-cultivate and make interesting stuff. And it's like if you ever have a sake from them, it's going to have some kind of funky rice to it. And I think that's like awesome. I think that's like the coolest thing about them.
And what kind of rice? It's a mutant strain.
Of Yamanishi. So it's an offshoot of it.
Wow.
Right. Basically, a lot of sake brewers will take rice and cultivate it in a way that kind of modifies it in a certain way, and say like, oh, what happens when we do this, or what happens when we mix this with like omachi or something like that. And sometimes you get really good results. It sometimes takes years.
And where is this from?
Both of these two actually are from Okayama. Yep.
I love doing similar regions. Mm-hmm. We did an event like that already. Love it. I love getting to taste what the flavor of that area, what that flavor is they specialize in. So these might have some sort of similarity, I guess.
They might. This one's much lighter, I think, than the Gozenshu.
Ooh.
But there's so much going on. It's still a very rich sake. I mean, you can
definitely crisp, light, fruity, juicy.
You can taste the Yamanishi ancestry in that rice, but at the same time, though, it does remind me a little bit of omachi. It's got more of
a bite to it,
like a richness forward kind of flavor to it, which is nice. It's complex without being kind of in your face about it.
It's very round.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna make no sense to the way I'm gonna say this, but like I feel like it's complex and sophisticated, but it's confident about being that way, so it's okay. And so it comes in mellow. And
I'm confident. I get that. It's confident and prestigious, but it's just very assured of it. It's
so nice.
It knows really it's good, and it's not trying to do anything weird to impress you. It is solid and good and just right where it needs to be.
Yeah. And
I think this one is right on that border of being smooth and light and just fruity and simple enough to just drink by itself if you're just at like a nice hotel bar, you're on vacation, or you're at home and just enjoying a glass of sake. Or I feel like it also tip very well to being strong enough on it that it could be paired with food.
I think you can totally pair this with food. Also, I can drink this all day. Like it is so nice and just relaxing and it's just so good. But I think it's also versatile, like you mentioned. You could eat with this. And it's not going to hamper your experience at all. I think it's actually may enhance it. I should play around with that a little bit.
We have a few interesting snacks here to sort of pair.
What do we have?
We've got some dark chocolate almonds, pretzels, cheese crackers. These are like vegetable sticks. They kind of just taste like salt. They don't really taste like anything. And then everything pretzel bites.
Okay. I'm going to try one of these. I don't think there's a chance that this is going to go well with this chocolate-covered almond.
I'll do the cheese.
I want to try it, though.
We should have staggered that so we're both not chewing at the same time.
This is also very salty.
It went very well with the cheese crackers. It almost made it
it did not go very well with the chocolate almonds.
Well, cheese crackers, it kind of mellowed it out to the point where you only got that like apple fruitiness with it. I would highly recommend.
Well, now I have cheese crackers and
It muted it in a way that made it
chocolate
very
in my
interesting.
mouth.
All right, we can taste test all day. We got to go to the next one.
That's the Juemon.
What do you know about this one? Do we have the splash screen?
Juemon is made in Tokyo. That's the important thing about this one. And you're totally right. It was a lot better with the cheese crackers. So Juemon is actually made in Tokyo. It's a Toshimaya brewery. They are one of the local breweries over there in Tokyo. There aren't that many, but they're there. Tokyo is a very large place. It's not all Shibuya. It's not just it's not Shinjuku as far as the eye can see. It's a very large area, and there are some sake breweries there. Quite a few, actually. And as you can see on the screen here, it is from Tokyo. As again, it's Toshimaya. The yeast is Miyagi. It's at 3.5, so it's a little dry, but not blowing you away with its dryness. And the most important thing is it is a Muroka Genshu. So it's 2 out of the 3 of Michelle's favorite things in the sake.
You know, I saw this set when we had it lined up, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince you or not, but I did not handpick all 3 of these. Like, they are all my style. Very interesting and weird, but it's really just some of the newest sake that's available, and I just got really lucky that I love all of them. They're all my style. What does Muroka Genshu mean?
So Muroka means that the sake is not charcoal filtered. It's just kind of uses a very old style. Man, a lot of this stuff's very old style. Very old style traditional filtering techniques instead of charcoal, which is more the modern thing. If you're using a pure or a Brita filter at home, that's charcoal filtering.
And it also makes it a lot clearer versus being cloudier.
Right.
And this one is. You can see all the way. I don't know if you can actually see that.
You can't see that.
But straight through, I don't see any discoloration. Very clear, very smooth. The smell is fruity again.
I should also mention Genshu. Genshu means it's cask strength. It's not diluted. Typically, sake comes in at about 18% or 19%, and they'll dilute it down to 16.5% alcohol.
This one is 17.5.
That's close to 18.
Yeah, it's good. So
They might dilute it a little bit. I'm not sure.
But this one is fruity and crisp and bold. It's stronger. It's something that I think is interesting that you're going to remember, and I cannot wait to see how it goes with food. I think this one is going to hold up really well against a meal.
I think of the 3, this is the one that's going to do that the most. I think all 3 will, but that's the one that's going to deal with the strongest flavors. Like you might be able to have something really spicy, maybe chili, maybe Indian food. I actually I had a surprise history with this sake. When I was at the event we talked about earlier with the distributor, I saw that label and I remember, like, I know this label from someplace. And I went through some old photos and I found a shot of it from 2008 when I was at Amanogawa Sake Bar in Keio Plaza Hotel in Shinjuku. And I had asked for, I had just learned the word like jisake. So I asked for jisake and that's what I got. And
that's a fun tip if you're in Japan going for the first time. Jisake is like the local sake, so it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Tokyo, you can be in Osaka, you can be in Hiroshima. Anywhere you are and you ask for jisake, that just means, oh, you're a local sake. Mm-hmm. So it works anywhere, and you'll get, fresh, local, interesting stuff, and you'll sound like you are a huge sake nerd, which is always the goal.
Yes, you want to sound like you know what you're talking about. That's why we strive to do that.
So we got to do that a few times. We got to do that in our last trip when we went to Hiroshima, specifically because that's always a sake that I love to have. Anything from Hiroshima, big flavors, ask for the jisake. It's awesome. So now you can do that in Tokyo, which I don't think you usually get to do. There's not that many breweries in Tokyo.
There are a few. Again, like these guys have been around. There are a few others that I know of, like Sawanoi is over there, and a couple of others I can't remember right now.
So out of this set, which one would you say is your favorite?
I like to drink sake on the couch, so I like the Taiten Shirigiku because it is just the most pleasing to me personally. I have a lighter taste in sake. I want my sake to be kind of light and relaxing, and just kind of round flavor, and not terribly complex sometimes.
This one is like smooth and I would say simple, not complex, fruity, but it's still hearty. It's still a hearty flavor. It's not extremely light and extremely floral.
It's riding that line very well. I think that it would go well with nothing, and it goes well with food also. Whereas I think that this one probably wants a little bit more food.
I would definitely. So I was going to say that these two are on the fence for my favorite. I would love to have this one with food. I think it would go really well, and it would kind of help balance out some of the strength this Ginshi was bringing. But if it were just to be a glass on its own, I would probably lean this way.
Well, that Bodaimoto, again, that was the big takeaway at that event. Everybody was like, did you have that Bodaimoto? And it was really impressive. Like, I normally don't go for Nigoris. I think that usually they're pretty sweet. I like saccharine sweet, and I'm not really into that. But this one is totally not that. It's a completely different style, and it's interesting. I just like what they did with it. They took something, and they took a typically again saccharine sweet sake and made something really, really interesting with it, which is really cool. And again, they used a style that hasn't been used in a long time.
I think that the set is really great for first timers because you're going to get something on every side, something light, something medium, something very on the deep end. But they're all junmais. They're all a little of that crisp, fruity sweetness. So they do still share a common flavor profile so that they do work as a set. Nothing's really overpowering in either of the others. Like, it's just very, very balanced. I think this is going to be a good one.
I think it's going to be good. So if you're interested in trying these, here comes the big pitch, guys. If you're interested in trying these, come down on Tuesday night between 7 and 9 to Rabbit House. That is on Forsyth Street, really close to Chinatown, New York. And you can get this. The tasting set itself is $18 for a flight of the 3, and there'll be a 15% discount on the bottles and full glasses. I don't have the price on that right now, though. Also, 25% off on all appetizers.
It's going to be a party.
And also, we probably let you know that one of our favorite dishes there, the spare ribs, are an appetizer. So
I feel like that would go really well with these two. This one because, it just needs some food, but I think that the fruity appleness of this one would probably go well with like that pork and the sauce.
Yeah. I guess one of my favorite things about this set is that it is not like a lot in New York. There's a lot of safe bets. Like a lot of the sakes that come over here are kind of they're riding that clean Yamao Nishiki flavor, and if they want to be a junmai, they have with food, and it's gonna be like the Gohoku Manroku and call it a day. And these are three all just like funky.
As far as New York goes, these are all weird.
Yeah, and that's
I love that.
Really nice.
I think that's very exciting.
It's really good stuff. So yeah, we were pleased to be able to kind of talk to you guys about that today, and hopefully maybe some of you guys will come down and visit us.
And if you love them, you'll be able to get them here. We're not going to break your hearts. These are all available. They're all for you. And if you find one you love, you can get it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it for tonight, right?
That's the episode.
Thank you very much for joining us. We will be trying to do one of these episodes once a month. We definitely have that tasting event once a month, and it's always the fourth Tuesday.
If you follow us on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, you'll see the heads ups.
Which reminds me, if you're not already, follow us on Instagram or Facebook.
If you want.
Or
tell
Twitter.
a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell them there's these people that they like sake a lot and they don't stop talking about it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's the episode.
That's it.
We'll see you.
Have a great 2018.
Bye.
Bye-bye.